Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So we are learning Dhamma continuously. So we start from the Chaita section. After learning Chaita, we learn Chaitasika according to Abhidhamma Singha books. So this Vipassana is in the eighth chapter. So in the 8th chapter, the writer of the Abhidhamma Singha teaches Anicca Samuppada, dependent origination, teaches Vipassana and concepts. So there are 3 portions. Among those 3 portions, we have learned Paticca Samuppada, we have learned Paññatti concept, but we still left Vipassana to learn. That will be a bit long talk. Because of this, as a latest one, we will teach Vipassana of the 8th chapter. So in the Buddha's Sasana, Buddha's dispensation, so Vipassana is very important. When the Buddha's dispensation start to disappear, Vipassana will disappear fast. After Vipassana disappear, the other teachings will disappear slowly. So that is very reasonable, because in the Vipassana, the Buddha teach in detail. So if we have some doubts, some confuse by reading in Sutta or other teaching, so to explain those doubts, we have to use Vipassana as a quotation. So if Vipassana disappear, we may not have a quotation. We will have more and more doubts. If so, will disappear the other teaching also. So if we learn Vipassana, we will know more detail, especially more detail about the cause and effects. So we understand more. But Vipassana is how to say, cannot be finished. Can play in many ways. So cannot be finished means can create the way. Like even Buddha's, when the Buddha think about the Abhidhamma. So Abhidhamma, there is 7 books. Vipassana is the latest book. Before Vipassana, there are 6 books. About that, when the Buddha thoughts or may say meditates. So those books, those teachings are for the Buddha very easy, because the Buddha's knowledge is very sharp. To the material to think, very small. So like a big fish in a small river cannot be played well. So very easy to think for the Buddha. But later when the Buddha think about the Paṭṭhāna or contemplate about the Paṭṭhāna, so Paṭṭhāna can play in many ways. Many ways. The Buddha knowledge is also very sharp. So like a bigger fish in the ocean can play bigger fish very fast. The ocean also very wide. So that is a fix. Because of this, so the Buddha's mind become very clear. When the mind very clear, the blood, especially in the heart area, become very clear. So if the blood become very clear, the whole body become very clear. So the lights from the body come out. So according to teaching, according to saying, until now, those lights are spreading in the universe. Until the time the Buddha's dispensation will disappear. So those lights are still having in the universe. Like that, very, very wide. So first of all, near the bodhi tree, the Buddha contemplated about the Paṭṭhāna in mind. Later, in the 7th vasa, so the Buddha climbed up the Deva realm. Within 3 months, or within vasa, the Buddha teaches the Devas in detail, continuously, without stopping. Because the Deva, for the Deva, at least he has 50 years, they are only 1 day. Because of this, 3 months they can sit easily. So the Buddha also can talk continuously. So sometimes the Buddha by himself he talk. But the Buddha is a human, cannot sit. He creates another body to teach. What to teach, how to teach, from where to where, like this. He created the body, teaches, but the Buddha go for alms food, like this. So that teaching way is very wide. Originally, the Buddha can speak very fast. Also, non-stop, continuously, 3 months. Because of this, that teaching way is, we say, a Advaitara, very wide way. In the same time, sometimes for alms food, the Buddha created a new body, teaching in Deva. He climbed down, stay in the sandalwood forest. So at that time, Buddha approached him. So the Buddha teaches Buddha. Now I am teaching Abhidhamma, like this. As a short form, because Buddha is very knowledgeable. No need to teach in detail. So teaching way to the Sariputta is that is we say Ati Sankhepa, very narrow or very brief way. So later Buddha, by getting a method from the Buddha, he teaches his disciples. That is we call Nadi Vaitara, Nadi Sankhepa. Nadi Vaitara is not so wide. Nadi Sankhepa is not so brief. So this way, in our tradition, in our Tipitaka, is given by Sariputta. Not by his own knowledge, getting it from the Buddha as a system. So he managed the teaching way, the teaching method. So now we will learn that. So, Paṭṭhāna in the Vipassana book, that is the other way. Now we will learn according to Paṭṭhāna books in the Tipitaka. So, to know what is a Paṭṭhāna, briefly, actually, Paṭṭhāna is a cause and effect, but very detailed. This cause supports this effect. This is a cause, this is the effect. Not only that, but also supporting way. We may call it Paccaya Sati, like a Hedu Paccayo, Aramana Paccayo. Paccaya Sati means, for example, one person supports the other person. Support as a parent, that is also possible. As a friend, as a wife and husband, which way the person supports. That is a supporting way. That is a 24 Paccaya, Hedu Paccayo, Aramana Paccayo, like that. Sometimes 2 ways, sometimes 1 way, sometimes 3, 4, 5, like that. Many ways. So sometimes, for example, mother supports their children. So if so, the mother supports their children as a mother. But sometimes some mother teaches children. So at that time, only one person supports their children as a mother, as a teacher, like that. So that is what we call Paccaya Sati, 24 Paccayas. That is an extra one for the other teaching. Other teaching, so you learn, for example, dependent origination. This is a cause, this is the effect only. No mention the supporting way. In the same way, Four Noble Truths also cause and effect. This is a suffering, this is the origin of suffering. So, origin of suffering is a cause. This is a suffering is effect. But no supporting way, how to support, not mentioned. Also very narrow, only one cause, one effect. In the Paṭṭhānasamutpāda, a little bit wider. Because of Saṅkhāra, because of Avijja, Saṅkhāra arise. Avijja is a cause, Saṅkhāra is effect. But no supporting way, how to support, not mentioned. Because of Saṅkhāra, Vijñāna arise. So there are 12 factors in the dependent origination. So not so many. But in the Paṭṭhāna, there are many causes. There are many effects. Also have supporting ways. So now we will learn. You may already know 24 Paccayas. Hedu Paccayo, Aramana Paccayo. Like I say, like a Samanera. So teacher told the Samanera, do you memorize 24 Paccaya? Only I forget the beginning point only. So the teacher recite to start. Hedu Samanera say Paccayo. Aramana Paccayo. Adipati Paccayo. He only know Paccaya only. But he say beginning only I cannot memorize. The others are okay. So you also can say beginning only I forget. So that is the 24 Paccaya. So first of 24 Paccaya is Hedu Paccayo, Aramana Paccayo. Repeat after me, Pata. So to get a kusala. Hedu Paccayo, Aramana Paccayo, Adipati Pachayo, Anandara Pachayo, Samanandara Pachayo, Sahajata Pachayo, Naisaya Pachayo, Upanisaya Pachayo, Purejata Pachayo, Vichajata Pachayo, Vaipayoda Pachayo, Sampayoda Pachayo, Vaipayoda Pachayo, Ati Pachayo, Nati Pachayo, Vigada Pachayo, Avigada Pachayo. May not complete. Yeah. So we start here to Pachayoti. Repeat after me. That is the narrow. We call it Pachayotesa. Just a brief, only supporting way only. Now Pachayanatesa, wider way. Repeat after me. Hedu Pachayoti. Hedu Sambhyodaganam Dhammana Tan Samautananancha Rupanam Hedu Pachayena Pachayo. Again, Hedu Pachayodi. Hedu Sambhyodaganam Dhammanam Tan Samautananancha Rupanam Hedu Pachayena Pachayo. So Hedu Pachayodi, root condition means that. What is a root condition? Hedu, translation is roots. Godu, Hedu Pachayena Pachayo. Pachayo is a condition. So we may put is a condition or supports. Hedu Pachayena as root condition. Hedu Sambhyodaganam Dhammana, for the Dhamma associated with Hedu. And Tan Samautananancha Rupana, Rupa, materiality produced by that Hedu. So that is the meaning. Roots, supports as root condition for the Dhamma associated with the Hedu, and Rupa produced by the Hedu. So Hedu, for example, when we see something, before seeing, we have a Bhavanga mind. Bhavanga mind is a sleeping mind. Before cognitive mind, we are sleeping. That is what we call a Bhavanga mind. So normally, if we don't have a cognitive process, our mind becomes sleep. Sleeping mind is very quiet, cannot know what we are doing. So in the same way, although we are wake up, between, for example, seeing and hearing, seeing is one process, hearing is one process. Between these two processes, there is a Bhavanga, sleeping mind, a few times. So because of this, first of all, we have to start sleeping mind. That is what we call Bhavanga. After that, the object impinge our eye. For example, color object, visible object, impinge our eye. So, beginning point, we are still sleeping, not yet seeing. That is what we call Adita Bhavinga. Adita Bhavinga is although the object impinges our eye, but still we are not yet waking, so still sleeping. So as a next stage, what happened? So at that time our Bhavinga is shaking. That is what we call Bhavinga Chalana. Bhavinga Chalana, we may write. Bhavinga Chalana is before we are sleeping, but now new object impinge our eye, so our sleeping mind not stable, become shake. So this is also Bhavinga, this is also Bhavinga, this is also Bhavinga. But this is a normal Bhavinga, this is a Kala start to impinge. This is a shaking in Bhavinga. After shaking in Bhavinga, we call stopping in Bhavinga. Bhavingu Picheda. Bhavingu Picheda. So these are all sleeping in mind. Bhavingu Picheda is the last one, the last Bhavinga. After that, we see the object. We call it Chakku Vijnana. Our mind turn towards the Kala object. That is what we call Penchadwara Vajana. I write in Bali, in English, five-dot Vating consciousness. So our mind advances towards the visible object. Before sleeping in time is another object. Now new object, our mind turn towards a new object. That is what we call attention. So because of this, if someone don't see me, don't see us, we may say, may I have your attention please? Like that. Turn your mind towards me, like that. So in the same way, this mind start to turn towards the visible object. After that, Chakku Vijnana. Chakku Vijnana is a seeing consciousness. So at that time, the mind see the visible object. Just to see, don't know which Kala, who is he, what is that, no yet know. Just seeing. Chakku Vijnana. After that, accepting consciousness, we call Sampadechana. Accept that object. Santirana. Santirana is invest that object or check. It is good or not. Is it good or bad? That is a Sampadechana. Santirana. Sampadechana, Santirana. After that, Utthapana. Utthapana is determining consciousness. After checking, do determination. It is good or bad, like this. So after Utthapana, Jhana 7 times arise. Jhana 7 times arise. So that jhana is very important. Maybe kusala, wholesome mind, maybe agusala, unwholesome mind. So let us say, see something no good. If so, maybe see something very good, agreeable object. So at that time may arise a loba mula chaita. Loba mula chaita. Loba mula chaita is 8. 8 chaita, one of them. So that is about the seeing. Maybe after that become Bhavinga again, sleep again. That is about the seeing process. In the same way, hearing process also the same, only changing here, Chakku Vijnana. Instead of eye consciousness, ear consciousness. Smelling in time also like this, the same. Tasting in time, the same. Touching in time, also the same. Another different process is a mind door. Mind door process is not use eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body, only by thinking. So, and that is a mind door process. Mind door process is also before Bhavinga. After Bhavinga, we think something. We think what? Usually, what we have seen, what we have heard, what we have experienced, those objects come up in our mind, usually. Sometimes created by Deva show some object. That is also possible. Sometimes because of our body unbalanced, for example fever or something, because of this a strange object appear in mind. That is also one possibility. Sometimes because of thinking very deeply appear in mind. Thinking very deeply is scientist. I have a heart, but I don't know well. So I am monastic, may not know scientist. But you know, the fruit from the tree fall down on the ground. There is no need to think. From above get down, no need to think. But he think. That is because of how to say the earth. Something. Because of that, he appear in his mind. Why? He think about that very deeply. So if we think something very deeply, that those objects may appear in mind. So, because of this, in our mind may appear. Even in Dhamma, Dhamma also one kind of jnana is a Nubbodha jnana. A Nubbodha jnana is Dhamma is very deep. Normal people cannot know. But when we listen to Buddha's teaching, some people can follow, can understand by following Buddha's teaching. That is what we call a Nubbodha jnana, acceptable like that. In mind, accept. Oh, like this possible. So that is what we call a Nubbodha jnana. So now we also saying about the Buddha's teaching, consciousness arise like that. So some people accept according to reality. That is a reality. Some people acceptable, some people may not accept in mind. So those objects, oh, that is correct, like this. That is a Nubbodha jnana. Another one is PaṭṭhānaConditional jnana. Sometimes when the Buddha teach or the Buddha's disciples teach, for some people, according to teaching, knowing deeply, until they got attainment, like Venerable. Venerable, before Venerable, he is a lay people called Upadesa. Once Venerable recited one stanza only, he understand until Sotapanna. That is what we call PaṭṭhānaConditional jnana. He knows very deeply because he has practiced in the previous life many times. So once he hear some short Dhamma, he understands very deeply. That is what we call PaṭṭhānaConditional jnana. So sometimes in our mind, those objects appear. Sometimes because of have seen, because of have heard, sometimes because of have experienced. Sometimes some object appear in mind because of belief, because of faith, not reality, but some teachings they heard, even a wrong teaching. For example, there is a God, for example. God may have, may not have, but may appear in their mind because of their faith. That is also one reason. So sometimes produced by Deva, sometimes produced our body unbalanced. So sometimes because of thinking deeply, sometimes following Buddha's teaching, know by following or by penetratively, like that. So if those objects appear in mind, so sleeping in mind fast, after that mind or departing consciousness, manodara vajana. The mind departs towards the object. Sometimes we not use eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. The mind departs towards object. So in front of eye, there is one person, no pay attention, although the eye open. Our mind is divided towards home or house or something like this. Cannot see, cannot hear what they are saying. Like that. So that's the mind divides. Although you open your eye, ear, nose, tongue, sometimes no. Because your mind divides very far. So, and that is what we call a mind or dividing consciousness. That is also a kind of attention. Now you are sitting, opening eye, opening ear. One time only one you can turn. You may turn eye towards a visible object. You may turn ear towards sound object. In the same way smelling, in the same way tasting, in the same way touching, my body touching with what? In the same way, just a mind turn towards the object. So that is a mind or dividing consciousness. After that, those jhana arise. Normally, 7 times. That is a powerful mind, can be karma, good or bad. 7 jhana. After that, some dadayong can have, cannot have. After that, bhavinga, sleep again. So, if the object is agreeable object, you also pay attention. That is beautiful. If so, greed consciousness arise. That is the example. Greed consciousness is eight kinds. Maybe a pleasant feeling, or maybe neutral feeling. Somanasa sagata, ubekha sagata. Maybe together with the wrong view and without wrong view. So, with the wrong view, without wrong view is like this. Some people, by loving like that, by attaching like that, no problem. They think that is no akusala, no unwholesomeness. If so, that is not correct. Together with the wrong view. So, folks, some people understand attaching others' property is no good, but it cannot stop. If so, without wrong view. So another one is from that and from that. So you have learned already. So one of no 8 consciousness can arise at the same time. One of them, one of 8 arise. So that is a chaita. For example, chaita is only one among 8. Chaita is only one. That is the only one chaita among 8. Maybe pleasant feeling, maybe neutral feeling. If the property is very good to see, with the pleasant feeling, and not so good, just so. If so, neutral feeling. So Cetasika, 7 universes, Cetasika, surely will get. 7 universes is Phassa. Do you remember? Phassa is contact, vedana, feeling, sanya, perception, vedana, sanya, cetana, volition, jivitendriya, life faculty, manasikara, attention, the 7 universal. After that, 6 occasional, vitaka, vichara, adhimauka, viriya, piti, chanda. 6 occasional, cetasika. That is mental factors. Chaita 1, 7 universal. 6 occasionals. After that, there are 14 akusala cetasika, unwholesome cetasika. Among 14 unwholesome cetasika, 4 are always. We call the 4 foolish men, because always together. That is the moha, delusion, ahirika, shamelessness, anuttapa, fearlessness, uddhacca, restlessness. Whenever akusala mind arises, these 4 always associate. So, moha, ahirika, anuttapa, uddhacca. After that, because of this is a lobha mula chaita, lobha, detti, mana. Lobha is a greed, 1. Ditthi is a wrong view, may have or may not have. Mana, mana is a conceit, may have or may not have. Tinamita, may have or may not have. Like that, this is a may have or may not have. So these are mental factors together, arising in together, vanishing together. The same object, the same vase. If a mind, this is arise in heart. In the same way, if although I dependent on I, only this is chaita only, dependent on I. The other chaitas are dependent on heart. So arise in the heart. So what is hetu? Here hetu is a lobha, dosa, moha, alobha, adosa, amoha. These are we call root. So among these cetasika, where is a lobha? Lobha is here have a lobha. Lobha is a greed. That is a greed. That is a kind of hetu, root. Another one is not there. Lobha is lobha is this is lobha. Lobha. This is a lobha root. Among these four, moha is a root. Moha root. These two are root. So these two supports these consciousness. They are rising together, but this moha support these. This lobha also support these. So supports in which way? Hetu pachayena pachayo. As a root. As a root means so like a trees. To a life for the trees need roots. Not only roots, sometimes for some trees, if you cut out leaves, they die like that. Leaves also support the tree. Water also support the tree. But root is very important. A kind of supporting way is a root. Root trying to eat nutriment and spread the whole tree. So this moha, lobha is like a root in a tree. So these two support these factors as a root, not as a leaves, as a water. For example, leaves also support the tree, because without leaves get sunlight, after that spread the tree. Maybe that is not so strong. Not so strong. In the same way, when the wind shake, leaves are shake. By shaking, they support the trees. If the tree shake, the root get water from the soil, and can survive. Some trees, if you cut leaves, cannot survive. So leaves also support the tree. Root also support the tree, but root is very strongly support. So among these factors, they support each other. But among these factors, this moha, lobha is very strongly support for those consciousness. For example, when we want something, lobha is like attach something, love something. So if there is a lobha in our mind, that person want to get, we're trying to get, like that. Even very tiny, want to get. Sometimes we love food, we attach food. Some people say that is poison. No problem, no need to care. We will eat. So because that is the lobha support the other consciousness. We have a contact phasa. Phasa is a contact feelings, vedana feel. So if no lobha, our feeling is not so attached. If add lobha, so feeling is very good, very good. Even chili, want to eat gananka, like that because of lobha. So that lobha supports our consciousness. So the other consciousness, how they happen? And they act. I want to get, I want to eat, I want to see, I want to think, like that. Become the whole groups are want to get, want to get, want to get. So that is supported by lobha as a root. Lobha also can be root. Another one, moha. Moha also can be root. So moha is a delusion, don't know cause and effect. So if you attach that, you want to eat that, you will get a disease. That is a cause. Disease is an effect. Don't know. Delude, become very delude. In the same way, so if we attach others' property, trying to get wrongly in wrong way by stealing or something, that is no good. Later will suffer. That person will suffer. But because of this moha, our mind delude. Reality is despair. We cannot think like that. So. So that support these consciousness. If so, that person very deluded, cannot understand the cause and effect. In the future, what happen, what badly, don't know, I don't care. So because of this, moha support these factors as a root. So that is we call hetu paccaya, arising in together. In one mind moment, next mind moment together, they support together. How about the others? The other consciousness also support in their way, but not as a root. Just we'll call it, you later will come sahajata, you know. Sahajata is arising together, just arising together. Sahajata paccaya, not as a hetu paccaya. So, for example, now some people come here. Some people are in some group very, how to say, very strong as a root. Some are just, let's go together. If so, that is what may say, sahajata paccaya. Sahajata paccaya. But these two factors among these are hetu paccaya. So if you trying to get lobha as a cause, lobha support the other, including moha. So lobha is a cause, the others effect. Sometimes moha is a cause, the others effect. So among this group, you can take out one by one as a cause. As a group also you can take out. One by one also you can take out. So for example, moha take out as a cause. That is a hetu paccaya. Lobha take out as a cause. Lobha hetu paccaya. The others are effect. So like this. So how about the other factor? The other factor is no hetu paccaya. Maybe sahajata paccaya. Sahajata is arising together only. Arising together. So in the same way, for example, next one is dosa citta. If dosa citta arise, dosa is angry mind. Angry mind is if we see something, it is no good, disagreeable object. We don't want to accept. We hate that object. If so, dosa citta arise. Citta 1. 7 universal. 6 occasional. Vitaka, vichara, dimauka, viriya, piti, chanda. Among 6, piti may not have because of angry. So only 5. 6 occasional. So after that, among 14 akusala citta. You know, moha, ahirika, anuttapa, uddhacca. 4 foolish men surely will have. So among this 4, there is moha. Moha is a root. Moha. Next one is dosa, asa, macharya, kokocha. That is a dosa group. Dosa is just getting angry. That is also root. Dosa can be root. Because a root is or 6 only we call a root. So, dosa, root. Asa may have, may not have. Asa is envy. Envy may have, may not have. We hate someone, sometimes just hate, not envy. Sometimes together with envy. So, envy. Macharia, not sure. This is not sure. Not sure. Asa, macharia. Macharia is, we translate as stinginess or selfishness. Selfishness is, I have some quality, I'm afraid to have for you. That is a macharia. Gogocha is a remorse. Sometimes our mind hates something, doesn't like the remorse. I have done badly. I haven't yet done good. So by thinking like that, we have a remorse. We regret. So that is a gogocha. Dosa, asa, macharia, gogocha. Maybe dosa surely can have a macharia, asa, macharia, gogocha. May not have, may have not sure. So no putting here is okay. So these factors are arising in together, vanishing in together, the same object. They work together. Many factors work together. Phasa contact the object, Vedana feel the object, Sanya perceive the object, Chetana volition or stimulation, stimulates. Stimulate is like that to kill something, stimulation. So attention surely have, a life faculty have, vitaka, putting in the mind towards that object, which are remain sustaining the object. No, Dimauka decide the object. Viriya make an effort for the object. Chanda desire to have object. Even angry, still have a desire to take the object. I hate that person. If so, you not trying to meet. I want to meet. Like that. So desire is a chanda. Just although you hate, sometimes you want to meet, want to speak, also want to fight. So like that is a desire. So moha is a delusion. If you hate like this, that is only someone will get suffer in the future. That is the cause and effect. That is the reality. But I don't know. Very deluded. May not be possible or something like this. So although it is a reality, sometimes we don't know. We are very deluded. Like children, what they eat, if it tastes good, they eat. They don't know cause and effect. So moha ahirika, shamelessness. Whenever we have akusala, the situation of mind is a shamelessness. Akusalas are shameful to do. But when we do something, we know shame is akusala. One kind of mental factor. Ahirika anuttapa is a fearlessness. To do akusala is a very fearful. We get suffering, but not fear. Dare to do. So anuttapa udecha, restlessness. If someone peace, don't want to do akusala naturally. Because of restlessness, happen to do. So another one, dosa. Dosa is a hatred. Doesn't like the object, hate the object. So dosa support the others as a root. Or more support the others as a root. Altogether, these two together support the others as a root. As a root means very strong. Very strong, If you put anger in the mental factor, the whole body becomes shaking, want to fight, want to speak badly, like this. All mental factors have to follow according to dosa, roots. So, phasa also have to follow dosa, contact the object with anger. Feeling also become feel no good, feel bad. So stimulation, Chetana. Chetana also don't want to help, want to kill, want to harm, like that. So all mental factors have to follow dosa, because the dosa is a root, support the other mental factors as a root. So in the akusala mind, lobha, dosa, moha is a root. There is three roots. Let us say kusala mind. For example, moha, I need to say moha. Moha is just a delusion. For example, moha is a vicikicca together with the doubt. The other is not having in doubt. Just if we have a doubt, for example, is there Buddha or not? Some people cannot do decision. Doubt. If so, that is together with the vicikicca. Quite serious. If real Dhamma, it is a real Dhamma, but we think, is it real or not? If so, that is we call it doubt. That is akusala mind, a bit dangerous. Because if you cannot overcome that, you may not practice. If so, you will lose the benefit. So sometimes no doubt, another chaita. Another chaita is moha, just delude. Maybe that chaita arises quite many times. Not so strong, but akusala, unwholesomeness. For example, we stay normally. Normally it's just forgetting. Forget, don't think cause and effect, don't think wholesome or unwholesome, just according to flow may go. So according to flow, usually as an ordinary person may have a delusion. Not so strong, but akusala. So because of this, the Buddha always encourage people, apamado amadambatan. Not forgetting is the cause of deathless. Need to direct our mind always with the correct object. So if you want to get a kusala, wholesomeness, you direct your mind, which object I need to pay attention. For example, you have a free time, you walk, which object you will take. Like that. So maybe that is a meditating, we can call, although you are walking, a kind of meditation. You choose the object. Maybe radiating metta is better, for example. Maybe you may recite the Buddha, the Buddha's quality. That is a correct object. Maybe you pay attention, your morality. I am not killing, not stealing, not telling a lie. That is good, or something like this. So if you direct it like this, that is a kusala mind, wholesome mind arise. So if not direct like this, so mostly, if someone not practice totally, if so, mostly delusion, akusala. No hate, no love, no greed, no anger, just delusion. But if someone practice even Anapana, if improved already, mostly his mind, if they have a free time, go there. For example, before sleeping, the mind go Anapana, together with Anapana. After sleeping, wake up. Once you wake up, the mind, pay attention, Anapana. Why? He has practiced a quite long time. With this object, he is familiar. So the mind automatically go like that. So because of this, to have a kusala mind, give a suggestion. Niyamita. Niyamita is you should decide, you should make a mark, and will do only kusala. I must have only kusala in our mind. One decision. Another one is inclination. Should incline to have a kusala, to do kusala. Another thing is as a tradition habit to do kusala. So if someone already have a habit long times ago, always donating Buddha flowers, chanting, if so, most of the time he may chant, he may offer like that. Once you wake up, I need to offer water to the Buddha like that. So kusala mind arise more. So Now, just we will say delusion. For example, moha consciousness, 1 of 2. 1. That is a consciousness. 7 universe, always. Cetasika, Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Ekagada, Jividendariya, Manasikara. 6 occasional. Vidaka Vichara, Piti, Sukha. Vidaka Vichara, Dimokha, Piti, Chanda. And Piti no have only 5. Because that is neutral. Piti no have. So, Moha Ahirika, Anatapa 4. The 4 foolish men. Among 14 Agusala Chetasika. So, not Loba Deity Man, that is a Loba group. Dosa group is a Dosa Esa, Macharia, Kokocha, no Dosa group. Vichikecha may have. Vichikecha, if there is a doubt, but Vichikecha, Tina Meta no have, only this. Among this Moha is only one cause. If Moha is a Moha cause, Moha support these factors as a root. The whole his mental factors are deluded. Don't know cause and effect. Don't know reality. Just go according to flow. Yeah. Chanda, Chanda, if so, for, Chanda, Momuha, I do count, 4 cheta only, no Chanda, 4 chetasika, Huh? A demako, Dribencha, Vinyana, Vichikecha, Sagada. Only if together with the doubts, no adimaka, So, I look down you, I'm just counting easily. Okay, that is very good. So, Chanda no associated with the Moha Mula Cheta 2. Adimaka associate 1 only among the Moha Mula Cheta 2. So, like this. So, Moha as a cause, okay, that is a hetu pachiyo as a root. And this is a, we call effect. So in this cheta, cause effect. So, this Moha is only can be cause, cannot be effect. Because only one. Previous Loba Mula Cheta is together with the Loba, together with the Loba. If so, that Moha is can be cause, can be effect. In this Cheta, only Moha, not the other root. Not the other root. Because of this, only can be cause, no effect. Because of only one. So, because of this, in the Moha Mula Cheta, Moha is only cause side have, effect side no have. Because of this, you should read. Bacchayopana is the effect. Saheduka Cheta 71. Saheduka Cheta 71. 71 is exact 18 Aheduka Cheta. Cheta is 90. Cheta is how many? 89. 89 minus 18, 71. Because 18 in Cheta no have a Loba, Dosa, Moha. So 89. Chetasika is 52. 52. Excluding Moha Chetasika in Moha Mula Cheta. Why exclude Moha Chetasika in Moha Mula Cheta? You should see, in the Moha Mula Cheta, the Moha Chetasika is only can be cause, cannot be effect. Because as a root, only one. In the previous Cheta, for example, Loba Mula Cheta, this is Cheta, 7 universes, 6 occasional, 4 Agusala Cheta, and Loba, for example. If so, root is 2. One is Moha, one is loba. So if loba is a cause, moha is an effect. If moha is a cause, loba is an effect. So this moha can be effect, can be cause in the loba mula chaita. In the same way, in the dosa mula chaita, for example, dosa chaita 7 universe, 6 occasion there, but 5. 4 foolish men and dosa. Because of this, there is a moha, there is dosa. So if dosa is a cause, moha is effect. If moha is a cause, dosa is an effect. So this moha can be effect, can be cause. This moha can be effect, can be cause. But this moha is only can be cause, cannot be effect. So you must understand the moha is moha in the loba mula chaita. Because together with the loba. Moha, that is in the dosa mula chaita. Moha in the moha mula chaita. 3 kinds of moha. So moha in the moha mula chaita is no other cause. Because of this, he can be cause, he cannot be effect. Because of this, as an effect, moha take out. Moha cetasika in the moha mula chaita. So only can be cause, cannot be effect. Cannot be effect. So you know that is the loba mula chaita together with the loba. Because of this, if loba is a cause, moha can be effect. So this is a dosa mula chaita together with the dosa. If dosa is a cause, moha is an effect. This is a moha mula chaita, only moha as a cause, cannot be other cause. So this moha cannot be effect. Because of this, have to do excluding moha cetasika in moha mula chaita. Not in the moha cetasika is 3 kinds. Moha cetasika in the loba mula chaita. Moha cetasika in the dosa mula chaita. Moha cetasika in the moha mula chaita. So like that, because moha cetasika associated with the loba mula chaita also, with the dosa mula chaita also, with the moha mula chaita also. Yeah. So because of this, we have to say excluding moha cetasika in moha mula chaita. And that is a difficult point. So these are effects. Second, sahetuka chaitaja rupa. Chaitaja rupa. Rupa is a materiality. Chaitaja is a mind born. Sahetuka. So mind is together with the roots. Sahetuka. Not together with hetu, roots, ahetuka. So loba dosa moha supports mind-born materiality. Mind-born materiality. Also, sahetuka patisandi kamaja rupa. These loba dosa moha support kamaja rupa, kama-born materiality. So that is the effect. So loba dosa moha, that is the cause. This second line is effect. So how to support mind-born materiality? For example, this consciousness, this group, this jhana means these chaita cetasika. These chaita cetasika arising in together, working in together, working in together. This chaita creates mind-born materiality. Mind-born materiality, rupa. So, because of this is a sahetuka chaita, this is we call sahetuka chaitaja rupa. Sahetuka chaitaja rupa, produced by this chaita cetasika. So, we write chaitaja rupa, mind-born, consciousness born, translation. But although we say consciousness born, Cetasika also include. So that means Chaita also produce, Chaita and Cetasika produce together. But using is Chaita Rupa, consciousness born, not include, not say Cetasika. But you should translate mind-born materiality if you want to follow meaning. If you want to follow grammar, consciousness born materiality. But you should understand Chaita and Cetasika together produce the materiality. Sometimes a saying like eating a rice. Come to eat rice. But not only rice you eat. You eat everything. Everything. Like that. But saying is to eat rice. So in the same way, Chaita Rupa is not only Chaita, Cetasika Ja also. Chaita Cetasika Ja. But saying is Chaita. Chaita is this one only we call it Chaita. The others are we call it Cetasika. They together produce Rupa. So this root, Moha or Loba, support this Chaita Rupa. So this Moha or Loba, Dosa is a cause, this Rupa is effect. So if someone have greed inside, his shaking is want. If you see dog, if the tail is shaking, that means inside there is a loba. Something like this. If someone smiles to you, nice to speak, so that is inside may have a loba. If no metta, like that different. That is a mind-born materiality, like that, you know, mind-born materiality. Mouth are like that, no, not like that. So that is the mind-born materiality. So Loba sports materiality, mind-born materiality. Action is different, different. So because of this, Loba sports mind-born materiality. Not the other, the same time, together with this mind, produce our body. Materiality produce the mouth are shake like this, maybe the eyes are like this, something like this. So I'm brown is may not be like this, maybe a little white. So that is Loba supports the mind-born materiality as a root. As a root, very strong as a root. In the same way, if there is a dosa inside, our face may change, become black. Become black. So mouth also shape different. May not be able to see teeth, not cheese. Or how to say if we're getting angry. So that is a dosa, a sport. Mind-born materiality, Chaita Rupa. Chaita Rupa. So, in the same way, if we have a delusion, delusions, sometimes if we see some people's eyes are different. Someone has a lot of delusion, so you can see eye very deluded, not enough sleeping, like that. Some people are very sharp. Once you see their eye, those eye like everything he know, like that. Even inside, go into the brain or into the heart, he may know, like that. So maybe that is because of consciousness. Consciousness produce materiality. So nowadays also, some camera check in the eye. So if telling a lie or not, the camera know. Camera cannot know the mind, but it can know the mind-born materiality. Sometimes mind-born materiality. So that is also sport. Loba, dosa, moha sport. Sahetuka, Chaita Rupa. Why important Sahetuka? Sahetuka, Ahetuka, two kinds of Chaita we have. For example, there is unconsciousness. This unconsciousness also, unconsciousness not produce materiality. This consciousness not produce materiality. That is ahetuka, no root. In the same way, sampradayana. Sampradayana is no root. Chaita, no loba, dosa, moha. That's Chaita also produce rupa. Rupa. But this consciousness is no sahetuka. We call ahetuka. Rootless Chaita. That is produced by rootless Chaita. That is we call ahetuka Chaitija Rupa. This is sahetuka Chaitija Rupa. So, as a hetu but only sahetuka Chaitija Rupa only the hetu spots. No support ahetuka Chaitija Rupa. Ahetuka. So this is ahetuka Chaita. Because of this Rupa is ahetuka Chaitija Rupa. This is sahetuka Chaita. Because of this sahetuka Chaitija Rupa. Yeah. So hetu bechio, loba dosa moha only support sahetuka Chaitija Rupa. No support ahetuka Chaitija Rupa. Because among this Chaita Chaitasika, no loba, no dosa, no moha. So that is a rootless Chaita. In the same way, rootless Chaitija Rupa. So next one is sahetuka patisandhi kamacha rupa. Patisandhi kamacha rupa. Patisandhi is, do you know, rebirth the linking in time. Rebirth the linking. Kamacha is a karma born. Rupa is a materiality. Patisandhi time, karma born, materiality. Patisandhi time, karma born, materiality. Sahetuka, ahetuka, you already know. Sahetuka is together with the roots. Ahetuka is not together with the roots. So, patisandhi kamacha rupa is we should go patisandhi time. Patisandhi time process. How is our patisandhi process? This is a Chuti Chaita. Chuti Chaita is a death consciousness in the previous life. After death, reborn. There is a patisandhi, rebirth linking consciousness. Very near. No need to fear too much. We have a next life. Huh? So that is a Chuti, that is a patisandhi. Yeah, after past we were reborn surely if we are not arhanta. So, but only family may change. Huh? Family may change. If we have a kusala produced by kusala, better family will welcome you. So, if produced by akusala, yeah, even an animal family will welcome you. Welcome to you, like that. So, patisandhi mind. After patisandhi mind, bhavinga, sleeping. Sleeping is about 16 times, 17 times, like that. After that, only mind or departing consciousness. The mind departs towards which object? About their life. They attach life. And their life. So mind or departing after that, javana. This javana is first javana. First javana is what? Akusala, loba mula chaita. Loba mula chaita. They attach their life. Anyway, even an animal, even in the hell, no choice. So attach their life. So patisandhi time is this consciousness. So for the human, chaita, one chaita. Among 8 Mahavibhaga, one of them. Very possibility. So Chaitasika 7 universal, 6 occasional, 6 occasional. Another one is because of Vibhaga, no akusala at that time. So 19 beautiful universal Chaitasika. Beautiful universal Chaitasika. After that, may have a wisdom or not. Wisdom, knowledge. May have, may not have. For example, knowledge have. If so, how many roots in their Chaita? How many roots? So here, aloba. Aloba is no loba, opposite of loba. Adosa. Adosa. This is what we call amoha. Amoha. These are roots. These are roots. Among these Chetasika, Cheta Chetasika, Aloba is a root. Adosa is a root. Amoha is a root. So as a normal people, amoha may include, may not include. Surely we have aloba. Surely we have adosa. Amoha is not so sure. Not so sure. If you want to be sure, trying to get jhana. Yeah. Even in Bodhisattva have to practice 6 years to get attainment. So at least you should practice 6 years to know 3 rooted or 2 rooted. Yeah, like that. So, this aloba also support these factors as a root. This is a cause, the others are effect. Maybe this is a cause, the others are effect. Can play like that. This is a cause, the others are effect. Or these 3 are cause, the others are effect. Anyway, they all are hetu paccaya. Hetu paccaya. Hetu sambhyodganandamana. Hetu paccayena paccayo. These causes are support these factors as a hetu pasya, hetu paccaya, as a root. As a root. So this mind is because of aloba, don't want to get. Don't want to get, no touching. But this is a vipaka mind, not jhana mind, not so strong. Just a sleeping mind. Sleeping mind, no akusala, no kusala. Just a vipaka. Result kusala only. So this cause support this. This is a Chaita and Chetasika only. So this together with this Chaita Chetasika, there is a rupa. There is a rupa. How many rupa? 3 klapa. 3 klapa is one is heart base, 10. Another one is body sensitivity, klapa, that is a 10. Another one is sex, klapa, that's a 10. All are 30. 3 kinds of klapa. One klapa, 10 kinds of rupa. So all are 30. 30 rupa. But the very beginning point only 30. Later increase, multiply. So there is a at that time already man or woman have a body sensitivity, have a heart base. Maybe start from heart area, not your brain, but consciousness are still arising at that time. So that is what we call karma-born materiality, not mind-born materiality. In that time, the mind is very weak. That is produced by previous karma. Just now arise. Also, the heart base also arising together. So this mind have to depend on that heart. So very weak, cannot produce materiality. So because of this is a karma-born materiality. Karma-born materiality. This root can support this karma-born materiality. Not yet mind-born materiality at that time. Why? The consciousness is very weak. 1 week thrown by karma to get this life. That's one reason. Another reason is heart base is newly pure, have to rise together. So because of this very weak, cannot produce a mind-born materiality, only karma-born materiality. So this root supports this mentality also, this karma-born materiality also, as a hetu paccaya. Hetu paccaya. So only Bodhisattva time, the root can support mind karma-born materiality. After Bodhisattva time, no support. That is what we call Bodhi time. After Patisandi, after this time, later we call Pavoti. After, for example, this is Javana. Let's say this is Javana. There is Lobha. This Lobha not support karma-born materiality. There is a karma-born materiality, but Lobha not support. Only in this time, Alobha support karma-born materiality. This time not support. Why? Why is this time they are arising together, dependent each other. But later the karma-born materiality not dependent Chaita, not dependent Lobha. So in the scripture say, when Arahanta got Nirodha Samapatti, you know, Nirodha Samapatti, mind also cease, consciousness cease, Cetasika cease, Cetasa Rupa also cease. But karma-born materiality arising without Chaita. Karma-born materiality arising. That means karma-born materiality not dependent Chaita. Not dependent Chaita. If dependent on Chaita, at that time may not have karma-born materiality in the cessation time. So because of this, only Patisandi time, this root support karma-born materiality. The other time, this Lobha, let's say this Lobha, not support karma-born materiality. Only mind-born materiality they support. So now I tell you about the Lobha, Dosa, Moha only. Alobha, Dosa, Moha is if you are Javana is a Kusala mind. Alobha, Amoha, Alobha, Dosa surely will have. Amoha sometimes will have. Those are where sports as a Hedu Bachya. So here mainly saying only Hedu Bachya roots. But you know, you see in the chat, Bachya Sati. Hedu Adipati also possible. Sajada also possible. Inyaminya possible. Nesaya, Uban, Vipaka, Indariya, Meka, Sambayoda, Vipayoda, Ati, Avikada. These are supporting ways. So at the same time, so these Vijaya, the same time also can support, and accordingly. Accordingly means need to know detail. So next chart detail we say. Sometime you see next cause effect. 6 hedu Sambayoda Kanda Saheduka Chedija Rupa Saheduka Patisandi Kamaja Rupa. So Hedu Sajada Nesya Ati Avigada. And that is in that time 5 ways to support. Next cause and effect you see. 6 hedu Sambhyota Khanda. Cause is a 6 hedu. Effect is a Sambhyota Khanda. Sambhyota Khanda means mentality only, not materiality. If so, how many supporting way? Hedu, Sajada, Anyamenya, Nesaya, Sambhyota, Ati, Avigada. So 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 ways support. So means sometimes 5 ways, sometimes 7, sometimes 6 ways support according to cause and effect. That is a detail. For example, for that second line, I will little bit say For example, this is Javana, the 7 universal, 6 occasional, 4 akusala, chetasika, for example, lobha. So among this, hetu is here, moha. Here is lobha, true hetu. So this two support these factors. Samyutta khanda. Samyutta khanda is association khanda. Means this. So these two support as a hetu paccaya, as a root. Root means very strongly. If you have a lobha, I want to get, I want to love, I want to attach, like this. I attach. So if there is a dosa, I hate, I want to kill, very opposite. So that is supporting as a root, hetu paccaya. Next one is, sahajada paccaya. Sahajada supporting way is like a light, how to say, electricity, light. So together, rising in together, the same time. The flame and light, the same time. Darkness disappear. So in the same way, these are arising in together. If you remove this, they will not arise. I don't want to arise. If you not have. So that is a sahajada way to support. Next one is anyamanya paccaya. Anyamanya is a little bit different. Sahajada, if there is anyamanya, there is a sahajada, surely. But there is anyamanya, there is a sahajada, not sure. For example, sometimes two persons. One is very dependent on the other. The other totally not support back. If so, that is only sahajada. Sometimes the two are like that, dependent on each other. He also support him, he also support him. If so, that is anyamanya. Sahajada is just together, no support back. So anyamanya is sometimes support like this. That is anyamanya paccaya. So these are like this anyamanya paccaya. For example, lobha moha arise because of contact. If no contact with the object, cannot be attached, cannot be deluded. So because of contact, moha, lobha can arise. Because of lobha, moha can contact the object. So they support each other. So next one is, and that is we call it anyamanya. Next one is nesaya paccaya. How to say in English? Depending, maybe. Condition in nesaya. Nesaya is depending. So nesaya paccaya, lobha dependent on them. These factors are dependent on lobha. Especially lobha dependent on them. These factors are dependent on them. That is a nesaya paccaya. So lobha can, without lobha, these chaita cannot arise. So these chaita chetasika dependent on them. So this lobha support these chaita chetasika as a depending way. Nesaya paccaya. Next one is sampayutta paccaya. Sampayutta is association, associating way. Associating way is in the scripture, nesaya. Nesaya is like, this ball. Drawing is without ball cannot be. So this board supports for the picture as a nesaya paccaya, like that. So sampayutta is like a chatumatu. Do you know chatumatu? Chatumatu is honey, sugar, oil, butter together, cook, stir. They are totally mixed. In the same way, these mental factors are totally mixed to divide normal people not so easy. Because of the Buddha's teaching, we have chance to know. So very mixing supports each other. That is what we call Sambayota Pachayo. Sambayota Pachayo. For example, together with the Rupa. Rupa and Chaita arise, but can divide easily. Not so mixed. For example, our action and our mind are very different. Possible to divide. But among these mental factors, which one is a contact, which one is a feeling, very difficult, very mixed. So that is a Sambayota Pachayo. Next one is Ati Pachayo. Ati is like presence, no absence. Absence. Presence is when this factor arises, this cause also arises. As a presence, they support. So sometimes one despair, one peer. That is a Nati Pachayo. For example, when Lee Kuan Yew despair, his son become president. That is a Nati Pachayo. If there is a Lee Kuan Yew, he may not be president. That is a Nati Pachayo. If it's something despair, the other appear. That is a Nati Pachayo. But this is not Nati Pachayo, Ati Pachayo, arising together. As a present, they support. So next one is Avigata. Avigata is the same. Absence, no. Presence, no absence, the same. Avigata is no absence. So if there is Ati, there is Avigata surely. Only the word change. Yeah. So Ati is a presence. Avigata is no absence. So the same. So Nati and Vigata the same. Nati is absence. Vigata is no presence. No presence. So these Moha Loba support these mental factors in how many ways? Hetu Pachayo, Sahajata Pachayo, Inyamanya Pachayo, Nisaya Pachayo, Sambayota Pachayo, Ati Pachayo, Avigata Pachayo. So 7 ways they can support. That is a very possible. Even in one person, you support as you support your children as a mother. Sometimes you may teach. So if so, you support as a teacher. Wherever the son and daughter needs, I will follow you or something. If so, you will support as a friend. So even one person can support many ways. In the same way, even one Dhamma can support the other Dhamma. Sometimes only one way, sometimes 2 way, 3 way, like that. So that is Paṭṭhāna. Now you can taste. Later we will continue. Yeah. If there is a question, you can ask. Yeah. You may not know very detailed in the beginning point. At least you can know, this is a cause, this is the effect, this is a supporting way. Okay, what you want to ask? Okay. Ma?
Thank you. Just now, Bhante taught us during Patisandhi time, there's no Chittaja Rupa because the heart, the mind is very weak.
Yeah.
So how about Chuti? During dying moment, the heart is also very weak. Is there a Chittaja Rupa?
Yeah. So at that time, there is only Arahanta's Chuti. Arahanta Chuti is Arahanta, Arahant. And their Chuti only cannot produce Chittaja Rupa. But in the Abhidhamma, the others Chuti can produce Chittaja Rupa. So Yeah, you may say weak, but still it can produce Cetacca Rupa. Because of this, although the person passed away, Cetacca Rupa, because Cetacca Rupa at that time start to produce, maybe last 7 mind moments. 7 mind moments. So, although the mind consciousness totally stop, Cetacca Rupa still alive until 7 mind moments. But you should know 7 mind moments is even not last 1 second. Very short time. Yeah. So, yeah, weak is maybe, but in the Sacrucha's saying, I can say that Cetacca Rupa is still producing. Yeah.
On a dying moment, when the doctor pronounced the patient as brain dead, the brain, like at Paṭṭhānaconditional, the brain is not developed yet, right? It's not formed yet.
Yes.
So likewise, for Chuti, for a dying person, the doctor pronounced the patient as brain dead, but the heart is still beating.
Yeah.
There's still, very light beating heart. So the consciousness is still there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at that time, the senior doctor asked another doctor, for in Singapore, if you don't opt out, then your organs are donated. You cut the organ and put into another life body. So at this point, the heart is still beating, but the brain is dead. So the doctor has to perform this organ transplant immediately. And it happened last week.
Yeah.
So the doctor asked me, how?
Oh.
No, not me, because it's my friend.
Yeah.
Doctor asked me, so is there consciousness when I'm cutting and transferring the organ? Yeah, so I say I will ask Bhante.
Yes, according to our Abhidhamma, heart is a very important part of the body, like an engine. So, the doctors are saying heart transparent, transfer, or transplant. Maybe possibility is the body transplant. Instead of saying heart transplant. So very clear actually. They are thinking is the brain important. Started from heart to die. The latest part is heart. So heart is that person is actually not yet dying. Because of this, we may say body transplant. So at least one person need to die, for example. So if so, that is according to Buddhist idea, cannot do that. Because of this, but I not collect very much information about that. I heard some people if I put heart, the heart owner or another body remember the heart's memory. So that means actually the heart transplant, body transplant, very possibility, I think. So Buddhist, according to Buddhist view, at least they need to kill someone. So like that, that is should not do. Okay. If you don't want to kill.
Yes, okay. Yeah. He says because he's taking instruction, so at least his karma is not so heavy. It is his superior's karma that is heavy, because he gave the instruction for him to do the transplant. Yeah. Then,
for example, if someone got a heart, if that person may not die, but the other person who will do to get the other heart, that person is more serious. But actually, that's I don't want to say. A long time ago, ask again before I refuse. So according to Buddhist idea, at least now you know situation. If heart is beating, that is not yet dying. So to dying for us, what is dying? What is death? No consciousness, no body heat, no life faculty. So if there is these three things gone, that is we call death. The body is not useful. If there is consciousness, there is a body heat, there is a life faculty, and that is still alive. Mostly if the heart are beating and still have a heat, so consciousness also have. So because of this, they can have a memory, their memory. So before I didn't say those things because if they know some information, they will do very funny thing. Situations like this. So if you want to be like someone want to be good Buddhist, that is need to consider about that.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Bhante, when a person is brain dead, there is actually no more blood going to the brain.
Yes.
And this person cannot breathe on his or her own. The heart may beat for a while, but a person who's brain dead, their life is completely supported by machines, by oxygen, the tube. Really, you pump inside into the lungs. So, and this person will never recover again.
Yes.
So, because a lot of times doctors, they may ask family, like ask children, whether to stop life support. So, a person who says stop, does it constitute killing?
Yeah, that is, for example, I will sell something indirectly. For example, some people very serious, because of accident. For example, I'm doctor, I need to cure. If I will cure, he will alive. For example, if I'm not cure, he will die. So I'm not cure that is I'm not killing, just not cure. I may not help, I may help, I may not help. That is cannot say killing. Killing is disturbing others. Just no support, no help them is not consider killing. So we cannot disturb other people. But helping other people is you have a choice. You can help, you cannot help. That is no problem.
So withdrawing life support is not killing.
Huh? Yeah, no supporting person is that is your choice. Very very clear. For example, I have a lot of money, so if I give him money, he will be alive. The doctor will cure disease. So I may not. Sometimes I'm stingy my money. I will not give him my money. So doctor not cure. That is not my killing. Just I don't want to give him my money only. That is I can stay. Nobody can say me you are killing people because you don't give him money for sick person. Cannot say like that. But cannot disturb. Okay.
Bhante, but down here the person have the decision. It's just like the children. So like so to remove or not to remove, actually the life is actually depend on the decision of the children.
Yeah, children have the decision. So when they put that doctor himself or for example who give money. For example, if I have money, so I can say if I don't want to offer someone, I don't want to give money. If you want to put oxygen, you can put. doctor can put. For example, something that is we cannot say to kill or do something. Saying is you need to be clever. Your property, do you want to give or no want to give? That is no problem. Who can say you are killing? Who can say that is so we don't want to have a killing mind. Also, our saying need to be clever. Need to be clever. So, need to be clever is as you are range only you can say. For example, I don't want to give my money. That's it. You what you want to say me? Why can you say I don't want to give my money? That is okay, no problem. So I will stay in my home easily or something, but you can say many things. For example, that is saying is you are saying is not commit any offense. Another thing, you are mind, our mind, no want to disturb someone to die. So mind also clear, saying also clear. What kind of fault you will have? So killing means mind also not clear. Want someone die. If so, that mind is no good. Another thing, or saying or action you do to die. Please kill that. If so, that is you. Yeah, surely you are killing. So you don't say killing something, disturbing others. Also, you don't have a mind desire to kill. That is not killing. Yeah, that is not killing.
But for what I know is that if the person is still conscious, it's just like an old parent, get some worry. And if let's say we advise them, don't have to worry, everything's settled, please let go. Like if we tell this way, that's considered we are killing. Right?
Yeah, what is killing, what is not killing, you should know. You should know is, you know, truly my saying is very clear, I think. According to your range, you should do. You should do. You should not have a mind. You should not have a desire to kill. That is one. Another one is you should not say wrongly, disturbing others. But for your own range, you can say, anyway, I cannot help. For example, doctor may say, I cannot help. But that means no helping is not killing. For example, no helping is not killing. That is also maybe because of some situation you may have. Your own property you can use, you cannot use. That is okay. For example, the father has a property. So I will cure with my property. But you cannot cure, you cannot say, because that is not your property. That is the father's property. That is disturbing. But please give me your money, I will cure. I cannot give. I can say, if I not have children, if I have children, okay, you take my money, can say. But I cannot give money, is not killing. Yeah. Okay. What?
Bhante, can we safely say that when a person officially die, according to Buddhist perspective, the Kamaja Rupa actually die, then the person die? Because sometimes we see, we get information the last few days in the social media, and then we find that the person brain dead, and then clinically the doctor perform all the procedures and pronounce dead, but then he revived back. So, I mean, in the medical field, the doctors have the procedures to certify a person die. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Buddhists in the Abhidhamma mentioned that the Kamaja Rupa die, the person will die. Is that the safe? Is it the way we explain that way? Unless, I mean that the Kamaja Rupa didn't die. Is that the right way to say that?
Yeah, Kamaja Rupa is...
The Kamaja Rupa die, then it's definitely die.
Yes. Okay. Sometimes life back is because before no yet die.
Yes, no
they are
die.
just saying...
Because the last to leave is still the Uttuja Rupa. The Uttuja Rupa will leave a dead body. You can see sometimes touch the dead body, still warm. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Bhante, sorry, can I just confirm a few things? For Rupa, all Rupa will last 17 mind moments, is it?
Yeah, nearly all Rupa. Some of them not. For example, Vanyadi 2 and Lakkhana Rupa 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the Chittaja Rupa produced by Chuti Chitta also lasts 17 mind moments?
Yes, 17 mind moments.
Okay.
But at that time, may not have to measure, because another life, may last. The body is become different.
So can I also clarify? Just now, Bhante was explaining about transplant. So when we take a heart and put inside another body, someone will be killed. Meaning, the life, for example, this life may become another life. So then this person dies. The original person dies and this person...
Yeah, because of this, need to think heart plant and body plant. What is the main engine you need to know? We need to know. So maybe they are, because the body is a bigger size, but the engine is a change. So if you change body and engine, how to say? Saying in many ways can say, but what is the engine? Need to know.
So the engine is the mind. So the engine continues. So meaning the life theoretically continues in another person's body, and then original person dies. Yes.
But to say that, like a very possibility like that. But when I not get many information about that, but I heard someone they still have old memory like that. No old memory, that person's memory actually. The body totally, I think, will forget their previous lives, action, behavior like that. So, but how, by getting this information, how will they will do again is, yeah.
Bhante, my question is about the application of this conditionality. Application, how do we practice it?
How do you practice?
I think because it's so profound, I think the person must have a very strong mindfulness, because these are mental and physical phenomena that arises. So how do we get started? Rather than maybe we know that it's kusala, akusala, and then we are not sharp enough to go into that deep. So can you share with us to go about using this?
For the normal people.
How do you?
How do some very important? For example, now we have learned Hetu. Loba is a kind of root, dosa, loba, dosa, moha, and that is a bad root. If there is a bad root, we have a bad action, bad speaking. So if we not have that bad root, we not have a bad action, bad speaking. So we need to dispel those bad roots. We should practice not to have a loba, greed, dosa, hatred or anger. We need to remove, trying to remove moha. We can practice. So you can check when you have anger pushing you to speak wrongly, to do action wrongly. So at that time you can check, that root is not good, I need to change. For example, radiating metta. Your action, speaking will change. What changes instead of trying to killing other people, so you will help be very different. The same body, if there is a hatred, we act another way, like hate, kill, harm. But if we have a metta, dosa, for example, we will help other people. So now we can know this root loba dosa more is no good. Aloba dosa more is good. Good is to have. So bad is not to have. Briefly, we can practice. So another thing is because this root is about materiality also. So our materiality also may change if I have a loba dosa moha. For example, if you want to have a smiling face, instead of changing only face, you may need to have a changing in mind. So if kusala mind arises many times, so the body also may change. So now that is the only maybe we can do.
So actually, is it possible to contemplate all these 24 conditions?
Possible. Contemplate is practicing in time. You mean?
You're practicing or meditation or
Yes, possible. If you know, although you don't know this, briefly, you can do enough way only. If you know so detailed, more happy to do. More happy to do is you may function, you may discern in many ways. It may not be always a nama rupa only. For example, nama rupa is only two group. You group. This is a nama, this is a rupa only. All nama together, all rupa together. So if you know 5 aggregate, 5 group you can do. If you know 12 base, you can do 12 grouping, like that. So in the same way, among this Cetasika, Loba take out how many pichya, hetu pichya, or like that. You take out Phassa. If so, Phassa is a cause, Phassa how to support the other things. But following by Buddha's teaching, you can practice. You can try to understand. So, but you yourself, you may not know. Why? Because of very deep. For example, we eat just food. We may not know what is the ingredient because of very mixed. But someone say, what are ingredient or taste? At that time, you trying to taste. That is possible because you already know inside. For example, coconut or salt, milk. Already you know. So first of all, you should know the ingredients. After that, you trying to taste. That is possible. Just trying to taste. Some people say, discerning in Dhamma is seeing a body. Like that. Seeing a body is, you may know something a little bit only. You may not know very detailed. So because of this, normally, first of all, trying to understand the scripture. Later, trying to see reality. Slowly can understand.
So that is when come to the Vipassana?
Yeah. Vipassana also some kinds of detail have to do. Later, you learn Pa-ṭhāna, you do more detail. That is possible.
What about the foundation of mindfulness? Is it another level of this?
Foundation or the at least you have to do some cause and some effect. At least, for example, Four Noble Truth, only one cause, one effect, grouping like this. But the dependent origination, especially, need to practice. About 5 causes. Grouping cause is 5. Effect is about 5, for example. Have to do. So 5 cause, 5 effect only. Not so much detail. That is also say enough. So not so detailed. If you know more by learning, you can practice more. Or something the same is even in Four Noble Truth. That is also cause and effect. Even independent origination, that is also cause and effect. So Paṭṭhāna, what is extra? Paccaya sati, hetu paccayo, aramana paccayo. Yeah, this cause support this effect. With which paccaya? What is the way to support? As a parent or as a friend? For example, you may say, I support that person. How to support? As a boss or as a parent, as a friend, many ways. Yeah, that is a differences for the Paṭṭhāna. Yeah, the cause and effect are mostly the same, but Paṭṭhāna very detailed, also including supporting ways. 24 pages. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Sharing merit. Repeat after me. Idame nyadina hodu Sukhida hundu nyadayo Idame punyam Asawakayam Vàng hodu Idame punyam Nibbanasa Paccayo Hodu Mama punya bhagam Sava sadanam Pajemi Tesabe Mesamam Punya bhagam Lavandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu